Thanks, Bill. Good shape? Yep. Let's do it. All right, we will call to order this February 9th, it's February 9, right? Yeah, February 9, 2021 meeting. Would all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a brief moment of silence. Amy, would you lead us in the pledge?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And all please remain standing for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Joe, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel,
Here.
Commissioner Vogler,
Here.
Commissioner Boyd.
Here. We have a quorum. I will note we are being live streamed right now. It's being sent out to our YouTube channel for public consumption. Additionally, right now, due to the courthouse closure, if anybody wishes to comment publicly before the board, they may do so by emailing me at mboyd@co.lawrence.pa.us. That's mboyd@co.lawrence.pa.us. I feel like I'm on like a telephone. The dialing for dollars.
Yes.
But as for the duration of the courthouse closure, that'll be the public comment policy. It is the public comment policy. I'll also note that due to a light level of staffing, our packet isn't up on the website right now. Only two resolutions, both of them are fairly mundane in nature. No offense.
That's all we could come up with now.
It was. And to that end, we also don't have prepared minutes for today. We do have warrant register, but it's just due to a light level of staffing right now. And, hopefully, we'll be back on it next week. Hopefully. Row officer reports and comments. No row officers with us today. Public comments, like I said, mboyd@co.lawrence.pa.us. Subject line: public comment. I'm not going to access them right now, but if I go upstairs and see that an email has been sent, we'll incorporate it into the meeting minutes. I'll forward it on to my two colleagues. Fiscal and contractual. We have no advertising for bids or proposals, no receipt of bids or proposals, no fiscal reports, no report on quotes. We do have warrant registers, and I'll give my colleagues a minute to look those over before taking a motion to accept and file warrant registers. Quite a few today.
Mm-hmm. I will make that motion to accept the warrant registers.
Second. The motion is second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have no presentation of written communications today. That's largely due to the fact that the mail is slow, because again, we're light on staff. You never know how much you rely on your administrative staff until your administrative staff is gone for a couple of weeks.
So you have to do something that they usually do.
I didn't know where to find the meeting minutes.
There you go.
Like from a couple from the last year.
Mhm.
Apparently, we have a nice big book upstairs. Actually, a couple of them.
There's a lot.
Took a while to locate them, even though they're sitting right on top of the thing. Proclamations and certificates. We have nothing today. Reports, staff reports. Is there anything here to report above and beyond what's already on the agenda? Great. Commissioner reports and comments. And we'll start with Loretta today. Loretta, you're on deck.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'm back.
Joe, write this down. Whatever she says, we can put it in the minutes.
I'm back.
I want to make sure.
Yes, from my isolation and quarantine, and I have to say that I was one of the lucky ones that I had no symptoms and did not experience the fatigue nor congestion nor loss of taste or smell or anything. So I'm definitely grateful for that, and grateful to be back. And just we're trying to do everything that we can to get more vaccines into Lawrence County. I know that's a hot topic, and just wanted to mention that quickly that we're in touch with people, organizations, the Department of Health, Governor's office, just trying to get as many vaccines as we can into Lawrence County. Just patience and keep dialing those phones and making appointments if you can get through, and keep trying at this point in time. And hopefully that does get better. Wear the masks, social distance, do everything that we can possibly do to keep our numbers down. We're doing much better in Lawrence County, so it's glad to hear that, but we still have the virus around, and we need to remember that. So thank you, I'm glad to be back.
Good to have you.
I know you missed me.
We did.
I know. It was probably very quiet.
We did. It was, actually, yes. Commissioner Vogler, you're on deck next.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. First of all, it's great to have you back. We did
Thank
miss you, and
Thank you.
glad you didn't have some of the symptoms that some of the rest of us did. I'm glad for you.
Yes.
Very happy for you. I'm feeling a lot better too, so we're all on the upswing here right
We
now.
are.
That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Absolutely. I'm on deck. The only thing I'll add in terms of the vaccine distribution, I do want to make explicit note that I think the initial plans before the vaccine was officially introduced were to have the counties largely take the lead in the distribution of the vaccines. Somewhere along the line, the state changed its approach to how it distributes vaccines. And as a result of that, right now, vaccine distribution is handled entirely at the level of the Department of Health. The county has no role whatsoever right now in the distribution of vaccines. And that's unfortunate because, quite frankly, I think that the three of us and our phenomenal department heads and phenomenal public safety department, I think we would have had it out by now.
Sure.
And to that end, I know I personally would like to see the counties be included more in that process.
Yes.
I know I'd like to see that,
Because we get the phone calls.
we get the phone
We get the
calls.
phone calls.
We got them yesterday, we got them the day before that, we get them on the weekends.
Mhm.
I get Facebook messages, when I'm out to eat, I get people coming up to me at different things that I'm at. But I think if that method changes, I think we'd be very successful
Mhm.
in working with our medical providers to be able to get the vaccines out. So I'd call on the governor's office and the new Secretary of Health
Yes.
to try to be more inclusive of the counties in that
Mhm.
process and allow us to play a role at the local level because we know our medical systems and we know our community better than any bureaucrat in Harrisburg possibly could.
Not to say that the pharmacies that are handling them now for Lawrence County are doing a phenomenal job,
Mhm.
but their thing is as well, they don't know, how many vaccines they're getting, and it's just, whatever the breakdown is, they would love to have the opportunity to do more and be more involved, but it's getting the vaccine.
Here's the other problem is, and this is my opinion, the biggest problem there is with the distribution, is there's no centralized authority coordinating vaccine distribution once it hits local pharmacies. In other words, an individual could sign up for 5, 6, 7, or 8 different vaccines at
Right.
different locations.
Patients,
And the
yes.
first one they get a call from saying they'll give them a vaccine, that individual will show up to get
Yes.
the vaccine. Well, the other 8 locations the guy signed up for have no idea that he's not showing up, and so vaccines are either going to waste or being allocated towards people that might not.
That needs to be used. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, needs to be used.
And so,
We're frustrated as well, let's put it that way. We
Horribly
have
so.
that frustration.
horribly so, and the Department of Health's lack of coordination with local governments, with counties, I'm just greatly disappointed in.
Right.
And rant, and we'll go to the new resolution portion of our telethon. First up, we've got CYS, resolution discussion possible approval to enter an agreement with Bethany Christian Services. We have Director Bout with us today. John, I see there's no chair. You can stand wherever. We're not recording it
Right.
today just because.
Do you have the TT?
No,
May I approach?
certainly. You may approach the bench.
You may approach the bench.
Thank you.
We will all forevermore say, approach the bench.
Good to be a judge for an hour. All right, what do we have?
We have Bethany Christian. They will be our 9th outside contracted vendor for foster care. We did not have them last year, so this is new. They range from 45.62 a day up to 79.20. They're based out of Allegheny County. We had, again, no children there last year because we did not have a contract. This year we have 2. Our output and total cost, again, was 0 last year. This year it'll be 20%. And what necessitated us getting a 9th provider was the 2 children that are currently placed in a Bethany Christian home. That was an emergency placement for us. Those 2 children have allergies to dogs and cats. And out of our existing 8 providers plus our own internal agency foster system, we could not find a home that was pet-free that had bed availability. So we needed to go outside the network.
Any questions, comments for Director Bauer?
No.
All right, John, great work as always. I heard you had an excellent meeting yesterday relating to human services programming.
We did.
And I can't wait to get ready on that. It's going to be phenomenal. We're in a position to formalize that transition.
You know, under the board's leadership, this initiative to look at the human service integrated model, and with Mr. Vanasco's leadership, this is going to be a wonderful project and a wonderful thing for Lawrence County.
Good.
So thank you all.
Good.
Well, thank you guys
Thank
for,
you, yes.
for working on it. I mean,
Right.
we give strategic direction and we tell you to take the
Do
hill.
it.
And you guys are the ones that have to take the hill. So,
Sir.
thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you,
John.
too, John.
Yes.
Unless there are any objections, we'll make that resolution 2021-37. Up next, Director McKinney with our planning department. Our resolution discussion possible approve enter an agreement with LCSS to implement the CDBG CV team activity, temporary emergency assistance through meals. Amy, what do we have going on?
We finally have gotten word that we have a contract number for our CDBG CV.
Only took a year
Yeah.
and through no fault
And we
of your
still
own.
don't actually have the actual blue back yet or any way to set up the IDIS, but we're getting there. So this is basically just in order for us to implement the program that we worked with LCAP that we submitted in. It's their team, which stands for Temporary Emergency Assistance Through Meals. We put in the 23 non-entitlements plus Union Township and Shenango Township allocated some of their funding towards this program. So they'll implement that program for us. We'll reimburse them a maximum of $12 per meal. So it's just for them to continue with the program that they started once COVID hit last March, and then this money came available and we worked together to help them with some additional funding.
Right. That's another thing that I'm going to gripe on for 2 seconds here. Is funding was awarded to us, I believe, back in March or April. It was early in COVID-19 over the course of the pandemic. The fact that it's taken, we still haven't received the money for this. And the bottleneck is either, I don't know whether it's at the federal level, I don't know whether it's at the state level, because CDBG is at the end of the day, I believe it starts from HUD, correct?
Yeah, well, it filters down to DCD.
It's-
They're the entitlement.
It's just absolutely baffling to me that in a state of emergency, it takes over a year to get this funding from the state, which we were allocated again back in either March or April of last year. I mean, the state has just, in my mind, absolutely bungled its response to COVID-19. And this is just another area where they have completely and objectively failed in meeting the needs of the citizens of Lawrence County and across Pennsylvania. Make it resolution 2021-38 if there's no objection.
I have a question,
Sure.
please.
Floor is yours.
Thank you. Amy, the resolution references the 23 non-entitlement municipalities and then, of course, Union and Shenango Townships. Actually, I have 2 questions.
Mhm.
You may not know the answer to the first one, which I would understand. The city of Newcastle, of course, gets its own funding stream. Then they determine, the city council and the administration determine how they're going to utilize those dollars. Do you happen to know if they are participating in this as well? And if you don't know that, I understand.
I think they are, but I am not 100% sure.
That's okay.
But I'll confirm that with Jennifer Elliott. But yeah,
Okay.
we have nothing to do with, the
Right.
state's CDBG program or even this.
We-
But I do not know if they did work with
And then,
Jennifer on this.
second question, then if you add everything up, you got the 23 non-entitlements and then Union and Shenango, where does this leave the borough of Elwood City?
Oh, Elwood City, their CDBG CV pot of money, they decided to use for small business loans.
Okay, which
So,
was
yeah.
their authority, they had the authority to do
Absolutely,
that, and that's
same
their
thing with
choice.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And Dan, just for, the last that I heard from the city was it was their intention to use either all or the vast majority of this funding for small business grants.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll note that we have a separate pot of funding now coming in, after Senate Bill 109 passed, and the governor signed it last week. And based on funding formula in that law, we're looking at probably around $950,000 coming into Lawrence County to be able to use specifically for grants for the hospitality industry. And so I know, Amy, you've already been on the phone with our auditors. We're waiting on DCD to issue some more guidance on that, and ultimately we're waiting for funding to hit our bank accounts. But we're looking forward to providing another round of relief to our small businesses that so desperately need it.
If I understand that law correctly, the one difference is we will not be administrating the program. The law dictates that, and I forget the technical term, but in this case, there's likely,
Certified Economic Development Organizations.
thank you, which would be, in this case, the Lawrence County Economic Development Corporation will essentially, from what I understand, be the pass-through. And they will be the administrating agency of it, based on the law. It's not our call, based on the way this law was written. I don't know if you had time to see your emails yet today, but Lisa Schaefer from CCAP sent out a brief note. Maybe that came in yesterday.
It was last night.
Last night, okay, so you've seen it.
Mhm.
And they're awaiting more detail from DCED.
Deadline February 20.
February 28th to get the money to us.
Yeah.
And then actually, we only have until, this is something where I've texted Alex McCoy after the law passed, who's the CEO of Lawrence County Economic Development, and I gave him a heads up. I said, hey, this is coming down the pike, so get ready. But the law, I also believe, stipulates that we have to enter into an agreement with a certified economic development organization. Or there's another agency, but we don't have one in Lawrence County. It's a community financial something. We don't have one.
Actually, we have a second option, but I'm not suggesting we do it, but I'm on the board of the Northwest Commission. And the Northwest Commission is a potential agency that could administer this.
Certified economic development
Right.
organization.
Right, and and Jill Foy said, if any county needs us, we're there.
Right.
But obviously, we have somebody right down the street.
But we have to enter an agreement with them by, I believe, March 1. And to that end, we should probably be looking at structuring at least the preliminary legal agreement that we can use there. Because again, I have very, very, very little faith in DCED to be able to get their act together in time to allow us to effectively implement that program.
Incidentally, and I might be splitting hairs here a little bit, but you mentioned that March 1 deadline, and March 1 is a Monday. And I'm guessing the agreement would have to go through a public meeting.
Yeah.
And so that leaves us with the 23rd of February. So
If I have to, I'll call a special session.
I was just leading up to that, and I figured you would. Thank you.
Very good.
Any other questions, comments? We're gonna make that 2021-38. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amy.
Take any further comment? I'll take a motion to amend the agenda to allow for voting on resolutions 2021.
So moved.
Second.
Can't even wait for me to finish.
No, I'm gonna be like, anyone means, don't waste time on
Yes.
words. Yes,
Yes.
so moved.
All right.
Did I hear a second? No.
I was about to say, we're gonna wait a minute now before I call. You're following, you're trying to make the meetings faster than I'm trying to make them. I got that 1 hour rule, you got that 1 minute rule. We got a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign, motion carries. First on deck, resolution 2021-37, now to be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners, purchase service agreement under the provider Bethany Christian Services shall be in effect for the period of June 30, 2020 through June 30, 2021. Costs are only incurred for provider of services being used by Lawrence County per the agreement. Authorization is hereby given to execute agreement with the following service provider Bethany Christian Services, 10521 Perry Highway, Suite 200, Wexford, PA. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. Joe, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Resolution 2021-38, must be resolved by Lawrence County Board of Commissioners. Lawrence County hereby enters an agreement with Lawrence County Social Services to implement CDBG-CV
I'm sorry.
Very good.
Didn't mean to interrupt you.
Team activity, and this activity, I think, as Andy mentioned, specifically relates to getting food to underserviced or food insecure
Right.
populations in Lawrence County.
Yes.
So do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. Question on the motion. Joe, please call the roll.
Commissioner Spielvogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Commissioner Boyd?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Thank you. We have no ordinance on the table for introduction or for final action. Next regularly scheduled commissioners meeting will be for 10 a.m. Tuesday, February 16th in this room. Courthouse is closed on Monday, February 15th in celebration of President's Day. I've always thought, I was thinking, I understand it's President's Day because I believe it's Lincoln's birthday. I've always thought they should push the day back and make it the Monday after the Super Bowl. Believe it or not, I say that half joking, half serious.
Right.
The Monday after the Super Bowl, in terms of economic loss
Oh, yeah.
and productivity hit,
Yes.
billions of dollars are lost in productivity
Mhm.
after the Super Bowl because everyone's either A, not working, or B, hungover. Which I have no comment on, with the state that I was in
Either.
yesterday. Planning Commission meeting Wednesday, February 10th via Zoom. If anyone has any interest in attending that, please contact Amy McKinney. She'll be able to provide you with a link to that meeting. Other thing I'll note is congratulations to Coach Rapone with Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
Our hometown connection. Fantastic.
And I know Rich was very, very excited to see his brother get
Yes.
that outstanding achievement. Again, additional public comments submitted to envoy@co.lawrence.pa.us, envoy@co.lawrence.pa.us. Subject line public comment. We'll incorporate those into the meeting minutes. Anything else to add?
No.
All right, in that case, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, question on the motion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Lawrence County Board of Commissioners adjourned.
Very good.
Karen, did you need to see us?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, there goes my phone. Perfect timing.